Hey, I'm very happy now that I'm starting to get some releases out of the way finally. We did a squirrel release yesterday, and that's worked out great so far. Really happy about that. This is the big day for the first wave of 26 of the baby red-eared sliders that I've been raising since last year that were shipped to me from New York. They were rescued up there in a big raid by the natural resource conservation people, whatever they call them up there, the environmental department or whatever in New York. There was 600 little tiny hatchling baby red-eared sliders, and they were being sent to a Chinese market to be food. And the interstate sale and transport and all that of baby sliders that small, less than 4 inches in length, is illegal according to federal regulation, FDA regulations. So the state authorities stepped in and seized them, and then they turned them over to a rescuer there in the New York City, Long Island, I think, area. And then she distributed some of them, and about 170, about 140 or so, I believe, were sent down to me. And so this is 26. These are the ones that have made it above 50 grams, which was the criteria I was looking for to release them, when I think they're big enough to not be just a huge target for predators, larger fish or birds or something like that. They can kind of fend for themselves now that they're this big. Most of them are more like in the 60-ish grams. There's some that are up to 70. I kept back the others at the house to raise them up a little bigger, those that were less than 50 grams. This one here has got a little wound on his neck. I need to double check him and make sure he's going to be okay for release today. I might have to hold him back. It's a little raw, but it doesn't appear infected. There's a few others back at the house that have that condition on their neck. I think some of their enclosure mates may have bitten them on the neck, or that it could have been, rubbed raw in their shell if they weren't getting enough basking to maybe dry out well. I'm not sure, but that's not too bad. That's pretty superficial. And I'm releasing them out here in a pretty nice little habitat, a little man-made lake, a few acres large, at the Lake Wichita Park. I come out to fairly often. And Lake Wichita is just a little ways over that way. This isn't actually part of Lake Wichita itself here, though, but Lake Wichita is only a couple hundred yards that way. They're supposed to dredge and drain Lake Wichita, and I've held off on actually releasing turtles over there, which I, for many years, released turtles there, aquatic ones. And I'm holding off on that now. I don't know what their plan is so far on if they've postponed that dredging. They got a lot of blowback on that, and I'm opposed to it. They should have done it back when we had the drought, when it was bone dry and you could actually walk across the damn thing. It was virtually empty of water except for way down by the dam. About 95% of the lake was there were literally people that were walking and driving four-wheelers across it. And these stupid assholes here in Wichita Falls, they wanted to wait until the drought was over and we got weeks and weeks of rain and flooded and the lake all filled back up. Then they wanted to start talking about dredging it, So anyway, I don't think, and I'm hoping they're going to leave this little lake here alone. So this is where I'm going to let them go. Some of them are self-releasing already. There's 1, 2, here we go, baby, 3. I'm just talking and they want to go. And that's what, you know, they usually do. When I let them go, they usually kind of swim back to me and come up, you know, come back up. There you go, baby. There's 4. Oh, wait. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. And that one's kind of looking around to see, yep, it's something to eat already. 17, 18, 19, 20. They may not exactly know they're free yet, some of them, because they have been living in outdoor enclosure, outdoor troughs, big Rubbermaid horse troughs, since last year. So where I've been raising them. So they're probably thinking they're going back out there to the horse trough, and then I'm about to feed them. What was that? 18, 19, 21. Oh well, I don't remember. 20, 21. But I know when I came out here, when I walked out here, I had 26. So there should be 26 in the water, whether I actually let them go or they tumbled out on their own. Hi, babies. Hi, baby. Bye-bye. And some of them are kind of sitting here looking at me. I think they're wondering if I'm gonna feed them. But they're reptiles. I get a lot of people that ask me all the time, well, since I've taken care of them in captivity and all that kind of stuff, will they know how to take care of themselves? And the answer is yes. They're reptiles. With mammals or birds or something, they can imprint to the point that they will be kind of dependent on people and come around people a lot, and it's a danger to them and things like that. People who aren't particularly nice, could hurt them, or the animals could just be hurt coming around people's yards and things like that. But with reptiles, it's not really like that. You get them back out in the wild, and it's pretty quickly. They know they're a reptile. They live from the time they hatch, or born in some cases, live born. They know how to survive. They're very instinct driven. They'll be just fine. They'll figure it out fairly quickly. They forage on their own. I've been giving them, things in their enclosure back at the house, in their troughs, that they would recognize as food out here in the wild, you know, bugs and aquatic plants and things like that. Here's one come back up close to me. But like I said, they're reptiles, and they will have no problems figuring this out for themselves. And outside where the troughs are, where I raise the turtles, they do forage all the time on their own from things that just fall in there. You know, little moths and June bugs and things like that will fall in there, and they'll eat that. And I throw duckweed and various other vegetation in their clover. I put some clover in there like last week, and they really liked that. They will be just fine. They're starting to move farther out. There's one out there. Just two of them. And that takes quite a bit of load off me too, because these guys, they do eat a lot. They really do eat a lot. Hey baby, is that where you want to stay? You're the last one still hanging around close. You sure you want to stay here? You don't want to go to deep water? You probably should go to deep water, honey, because it's trying to dig. You probably want to go to deep water because, you know, when nighttime comes and the bobcats and coyotes and things like that are probably going to be, they're going to be sniffing around at the shoreline looking for stuff like you to eat, raccoons and stuff especially. So you're probably better off if you go out there. You go out to deeper water. Okay. Well, that's 26 of them down.